Years of hard work, a career built, a clear sense of being in control of your life, and then a blow, a layoff, a failed project, a shattered relationship. The world you painstakingly built crumbles to dust. Self-esteem plummets. The future, a mere fog. Sound familiar? What if this paralyzing failure isn't a mistake in your life? What if it's the inevitable first act of a grander story, a narrative code embedded in every Hollywood blockbuster and in your own life's journey? It's as if your life's GPS, which you so meticulously programmed, suddenly screams, "Signal lost," in the middle of an unfamiliar dark forest. The old map no longer works, and a new one isn't yet in sight. This universal journey is called the hero's journey, described by mythologist Joseph Campbell. But this isn't just a theory for lectures, it's a navigational map, the very one used by the creators of Star Wars, The Matrix, and The Lord of the Rings. Today we won't talk about movies. We'll give you this map so you can pinpoint where you are right now. And this isn't mere speculation. George Lucas openly admitted that without Campbell's 1949 book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, Star Wars simply wouldn't exist. He used it as a direct blueprint. We're giving you that same blueprint, one that has spawned entire universes. This map is also a diagnostic tool. It helps transform feelings of confusion and fear into fuel for your next step. Think of it as an MRI for your life story, highlighting exactly which stage you're stuck in and what needs to be done to initiate movement. Modern narrative psychotherapy uses the same principles to help people rewrite their stories from a position of strength. We'll explore 5 key stages of this journey. You won't just learn about them, you'll learn to see them in your own life, in the past, present, and most importantly, the future. These stages are like seasons in our psychology. You can't skip the winter of crisis to reach the spring of rebirth. But knowing it's winter allows you to stop panicking and start preparing for spring. There is immense power in this knowledge. So, the first stage, the call. Let's return to our laid-off career professional. His call isn't the sound of a trumpet leading to an adventure. His call is the very fact of being fired, that moment when reality declares, the old world no longer works. Divorce, illness, failure, these aren't problems, they are signals. Signals that you've outgrown your old life, even if you don't realize it yet. The call is your soul's fire alarm. It blares deafeningly, disturbing your peace. And yes, it's incredibly annoying. But its purpose isn't to ruin your day. Its purpose is to tell you that the old house is on fire and it's time to get out. The crisis itself isn't the fire, it's the alarm. And the first, almost instinctive reaction to this call is refusal. It's an attempt to glue a broken cup back together. I'll just find the exact same job. We can still fix everything. These are just temporary difficulties. This is the most dangerous stage. You can get stuck here for years, living in the illusion that you can avoid the adventure. The fear of the unknown proves stronger than the pain of the present. This mechanism is so ancient that it's described in the oldest texts. Remember Jonah from the Bible? He received a call from God. And what did he do? He bought a ticket on a ship and sailed in the opposite direction. How did that end? He was swallowed by a whale. The universe will always find a way to bring you back to your path. And the longer you resist, the bigger the whale will be. Pause for a second. What call have you been ignoring lately? What truth about your job, relationships, or health are you pushing aside because you're afraid of what you'll have to do next? This is your refusal of the call. The great psychologist Carl Jung would call this ignored truth your shadow, the part of you you're afraid to look at. Refusing the call is refusing to face your own shadow. But it is precisely within it, according to Jung, that your gold is hidden. A mentor helps break through this refusal. This doesn't necessarily mean a wise old sage with a staff. It could be a book, a podcast, a casual conversation, or even this video. It's any information or person who tells you, your fear is normal, but there's a path on the other side. For our career professional, it might be a call from an old friend who says, maybe this is your chance to finally do what you've always dreamed of. A mentor isn't someone who leads you by the hand through a dark forest. It's someone who hands you a flashlight and says, the batteries will last an hour. There's a trail in the forest. I know because I've walked it myself. Good luck. They don't remove the fear. They make the first step possible. But the mentor only opens the door. You have to walk through it yourself. And that step is the crossing of the threshold. It's the moment you burn your bridges. Our career professional isn't just looking for a new job. He enrolls in courses for a completely new profession. The couple who tried to reconcile files for divorce. This is a conscious decision to enter the unknown, an acknowledgement that there's no turning back. It's your personal crossing of the Rubicon. When Julius Caesar crossed that river with his army in 49 BC, he broke the law and ignited a civil war. There was no going back. The crossing of the threshold is your declaration to the universe. The die is cast. It's after this that miracles begin to happen. Immediately beyond the threshold isn't emptiness, but a series of trials. These aren't epic battles. They're real difficulties. Lack of money, misunderstanding from loved ones, initial failures in a new endeavor. But here, allies also appear. New friends, like-minded individuals, chance helpers, and enemies, not just external critics, but internal demons like imposter syndrome, procrastination, and old fears. In ancient alchemy, this stage was called solutio, dissolution. All your old beliefs, habits, and connections dissolve in the acid of a new reality. It's a painful process, but it's the only way to separate the pure gold of your essence from impurities and dross. Think of Neo in The Matrix. His crossing of the threshold is the red pill. And his first trials are the training sessions with Morpheus, the jump between buildings. His allies are Trinity and the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar. His enemies are the agents and his own self-doubt. Your life after crossing the threshold follows the same script. The only question is who your allies and agents are. By the way, the name of Morpheus's ship, the Nebuchadnezzar, refers to the Babylonian king who was tormented by dreams and couldn't distinguish reality from illusion. The filmmakers literally wove the structure of myth into every detail, just as it's woven into your life. After a series of minor victories and defeats, the hero approaches the most terrifying place. Campbell calls this the innermost cave, a metaphor for your greatest fear. For an entrepreneur, it's launching a product. For someone in crisis, it's having an honest conversation with themselves about their true desires. It's the place where you must confront what you've avoided your entire life, because in this cave lives the main dragon, and that dragon is yourself. The innermost cave isn't just a poetic phrase. It's a direct reference to ancient initiation rites, which often took place in real caves underground. This symbolized a descent into the subconscious, into the world of the dead, to be reborn. Before you can ascend, you must descend. And here it is, the ultimate trial. Campbell calls it the ordeal. But it's not just a test. It's a symbolic death, the death of the old self. It's the moment when the hero loses everything: money, hope, confidence. It's rock bottom. For our career professional, it's the complete failure of his first startup, the project he staked everything on. It's the moment he must release his ego, his old identity as a successful manager, to be reborn. In myths, the dragon the hero battles almost always guards a source of water or a treasure. This is a profound symbol. Your greatest fear, your ego, your dragon, is actually blocking your own source of life force and creativity. The battle with it is an act of self-liberation. After reaching rock bottom, the hero receives a reward, but it's not a chest of gold. It's a profound realization, an insight, a new understanding of themselves and the world. Our hero, sitting amidst the ruins of his project, suddenly understands his value isn't in his job title, but in his ability to assemble a team and inspire people. This knowledge is his sword, his elixir. He gained not status, but himself. Remember Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Her reward was the realization that her ruby slippers could have taken her home at any moment. She possessed the power from the very beginning, but she needed to go through the entire journey to understand it. Your reward isn't something you find, it's something you always had, but didn't realize. Let's introduce an ego scale. At the beginning of the journey, our hero's ego was at 10 out of 10. The call knocked it down to 6, the trials to 4. And at the moment of the ultimate ordeal, it drops to 0. It is at this point, When the ego is dead, that true rebirth becomes possible. Think about where your ego is on this scale right now. Perhaps you need to fall even lower to truly soar. Researcher Brené Brown has studied vulnerability for decades. Point zero on the ego scale is what she calls maximum vulnerability. And her research proves that this exact point is the birthplace of courage, creativity, and genuine connection. To gain strength, you must first allow yourself to be utterly powerless. It would seem victory is won, but Campbell warns, the road back is often more dangerous than the road there. The hero has changed, but the world hasn't. Old friends don't understand his new passion. Family demands he find a normal job. There's a temptation to abandon everything and remain in the new world. Obtaining the treasure is only half the battle. The hardest part is returning with it to the old world and not being ridiculed. It's like an astronaut returning to Earth. After weightlessness, Earth's gravity feels unbearably heavy. After seeing the entire planet from space, old neighborhood squabbles seem absurd. The hero's task is to relearn how to walk on the ground without forgetting that they have seen the stars. It's precisely at this moment, as you're relearning to walk, that the world presents its final test. Your former boss calls, offering you your old position back, but with double the salary. This is the final boss, but it doesn't look like a dragon. It looks like a very tempting offer. It's a ghost of your past in an expensive suit, extending golden handcuffs. And you defeat it not with a sword, but with one short word. No. That word is your resurrection. Because the true hero isn't the one who conquered, but the one who returned with the elixir and shared it with their tribe. Our career professional, having refused the old position, opens his own small agency. He helps others navigate similar career crises. He uses his scar as a map for others. This is the ultimate goal of the entire journey. The elixir isn't a magic potion you give to others. It's a recipe you provide. The true mission of the hero isn't to create dependent followers, but to birth new heroes. You don't hand out fish. You teach how to fish. Think about the toughest crisis you've already overcome. What elixir? What unique knowledge did you gain from it? And how can you share it? Perhaps your greatest contribution to the world is hidden within your greatest pain. In the Japanese art of kintsugi, broken pottery is mended with lacquer mixed with gold dust. The cracks, the scars, they only make the object more valuable and beautiful. Your scars are your gold. Your elixir is the wisdom you can use to mend the wounds of others. And this isn't the end. After completing one cycle, the hero doesn't retire. They receive a new call, more complex, more expansive. The hero's journey isn't a straight line from start to finish. It's a spiral. You pass the same window again and again, but with each turn, you find yourself on a higher floor, and the view outside becomes much broader. The goal isn't to reach the top. The goal is to learn to climb this staircase consciously, again and again. So, how can you use this map not just to analyze the past, but to navigate future storms? Here's the condensed hero protocol in 4 steps. Protocol number 1, identify the call. Your crisis isn't a problem, it's a signal. Don't ignore it. Ask yourself, what old thing is life forcing me to let go of? Remember Campbell's mantra, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Protocol number 2, cross the threshold. Make one irreversible decision that takes you out of your comfort zone. Burn your bridges. Your fear is an indicator of the right direction. This is your personal crossing of the Rubicon. Take a step that cannot be undone. Protocol number 3, embrace the death of the ego. Be prepared to lose everything, to hit rock bottom. It is there, at the point of maximum vulnerability, that your greatest strength and your most profound self-discovery reside. It's like a controlled forest fire. The old dry brush must burn so that something new and vibrant can grow. Protocol number 4, find your elixir. After the crisis, ask yourself, what is the main lesson I've learned? And then, how can I use this lesson to help others? Your task is to transform your scars into a survival guide for others. This map, thousands of years old, proves one thing. Your difficulties aren't unique. They are universal. You are not broken. You are simply in the middle of a grand story, And now, you have a compass. Now, for the main question to everyone who watched until the end. Do you believe the hero's journey is an inevitable life cycle that everyone goes through, or a conscious choice of path made by only a few? Write just one word in the comments: cycle or choice. Let's see which resonates more. Campbell himself believed this pattern is ingrained in us as deeply as instinct, but he added, "The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are." Perhaps the cycle itself is inevitable, but the choice is to go through it consciously, as a hero rather than passively as a victim. So, what's more important, the inevitable cycle or the conscious choice? I await your comments.